Throughout the eras, we've faced countless threats. We've thrown hands with gods, kaijus, and supervillains. But among all this chaos, there is one force that stands in a league of its own. A force that doesn't just want to conquer the island, it seeks the total annihilation of existence itself. We're talking about the threat we are facing in the Chapter 7 event. The name that strikes fear into every looper, the Last Reality. From their rise long before the dawn of time, to their fatal role in the destiny of the Seven. We're breaking down the hierarchy, the tragedy of the Cube King, and the true nature of the Nothing. But before we open this portal into the unknown, I have a huge favor to ask. Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It's literal fuel for my channel. So, what is the Last Reality? Most players only learned about them in Season 17, when the saucers arrived over the island. But in reality, this organization existed billions of years before the first resident ever stepped foot on the Battle Royale map. The Last Reality isn't just an alien army. It's a conglomerate, an empire consisting of multiple enslaved races and dimensions. Their name speaks for itself. They want to be the Last Reality. Their goal is absolute entropy. To destroy all other worlds, all other universes, consume the 0 point, and leave nothing but themselves. Think of them as cosmic locusts that strip worlds down to the bedrock. According to the data we have, this empire is split into several factions, but the core of their power has always been cube energy, dark matter capable of warping space and time. Let's rewind the clock way back, long before Chapter 1. In those times, the Last Reality was ruled by someone we would later know as the Cube King. This is a tragic figure. Initially, he was a ruler who likely believed in the greatness of his civilization. But over time, he started to see the horrifying truth. His people, his empire, had turned into monsters. The thirst for power and conquest overshadowed everything else. Under his command, entire worlds were being wiped out, and the weight of these destructions began to crush him. The Cube King realized he was leading a force that brought nothing but death. His moral compass couldn't take it anymore. This led to a fracture. He didn't just abdicate the throne, he fled. He abandoned his own reality, hoping to atone for the sins of the past. But, as we know, you can't run from your past. Eventually, he was captured by the Imagined Order, who held him prisoner, trying to siphon his knowledge and power. It wasn't until years later that he was saved by the Foundation and other members of the Seven, joining their ranks under the name The Origin. Yeah, the Seven's grim tactician is actually the former supreme ruler of the universe's biggest threat. Irony at its finest, right? After the king's escape, the throne didn't stay empty. His spot was taken by the Cube Queen. And if the king had doubts and a conscience, the queen is the pure embodiment of evil and ambition. Under her reign, the Last Reality became even more aggressive. She didn't just conquer worlds, she terraformed them to suit her needs, turning them into lifeless wastelands inhabited by cube monsters. It was the Queen who turned her armada's gaze toward the 0 point, the heart of the entire multiverse located on our island. But getting to it wasn't easy, since the island was protected, and the Imagined Order had thoroughly hidden its coordinates. We saw the first physical manifestation of this threat at the end of Chapter 1, even though we had no idea what we were dealing with back then. Remember the rift in the sky from Season 4? When the Visitor launched the rocket, he created a crack in the fabric of reality. For us, it was a show. For the Last Reality, it was a beacon. Through that crack, the first agent arrived, a cube the community lovingly dubbed Kevin. But let's be real, Kevin wasn't a friend. He was a sentient biological supercomputer, a scout, and a terraformer all rolled into one. His mission was simple: scan the terrain, locate the energy source, and prep the landing zone for an invasion. Kevin printed runes, siphoning energy from the ground. He tried to open a portal to summon his masters. Those monsters we saw during Fortnite mares weren't just zombies. They were the infantry of the Last Reality, an attempt to assimilate the island's population. But that time, Kevin didn't have enough juice. The island fought back. The cube gave everything it had and disintegrated, leaving behind only shards and an altered ecosystem. It seemed like the threat was gone. But that was just the opening gambit. We're gonna skip over the futuristic seasons where the IO tried to harness cube energy and jump straight to Season X. Here is where the lore gets deep. While we were distracted by the scientists' time loops, something way scarier was happening in the shadows. In the secret encrypted tapes that appeared during the black hole collapse, the scientist left a message. He spoke of inevitability. He said that they are watching. But most importantly, he hinted at an entity standing perhaps even higher than the Queen. An entity named the Nothing. This isn't just a leader. This is likely the very embodiment of the void that the last reality worships. We didn't think much of it back then, but the seeds of the Chapter 3 catastrophe were planted right there, in the finale of Chapter 1. The black hole that swallowed the island momentarily made us visible on every radar in the multiverse. The signal was sent. Fast forward to Chapter 2, Season 17. The scouting phase was over. The war had begun. That signal, accidentally sent by Raz using a cube artifact, reached the Queen's fleet. The mothership arrived, a gigantic base capable of casting a shadow over entire continents. This time, they didn't send magic cubes. They sent a technological army, chimeras, and trespassers. This shows just how diverse the last reality is. They wield both rune magic and top-tier tech. The goal remained the same, the 0 point. They abducted locations, scanned the memories of islanders, and infiltrated the IO. Although the mothership was eventually shot down thanks to Dr. Sloan's sabotage, that wasn't a victory. Crashing the ship didn't destroy the army. On the contrary, it unleashed their true power. The ship was just a shipping container. The cargo was thousands of cubes. Season 18 revealed the true hierarchy of the cubes. We saw that Kevin wasn't alone. There were hundreds of them. And among them was a general, the Golden Cube. The Golden Cube wasn't just a battery. It was a commander, a direct link to the Queen. It coordinated the movements of all the other cubes, making them move in unison. They didn't attack chaotically, they built. They created the convergence in the center of the island, a giant portal city. And that's when the Cube Queen herself stepped onto the stage. Her appearance confirmed all our fears. The cubes aren't an independent race, they are weapons in her hands. She tried to finish what the first cube started, opening the gates for the full might of the last reality to destroy this reality once and for all. Her plan was nearly perfect. She used the island's own energy against it. And only a crazy, desperate plan by the Seven to completely flip the tectonic plate of the island was able to stop her. The ocean washed away her army, and the Queen herself was presumably destroyed by the water, or she retreated because her physical shell was compromised. But defeating a general doesn't mean winning the war. After the island flipped, there was a lull. The Origin joined the Seven, helping them build defenses. But the last reality has weapons in its arsenal far scarier than cubes or lasers. In Chapter 3, we faced Chrome. Chrome isn't just liquid metal. It's a biological nanoweapon controlled by a hive mind. It consumes everything, organic and inorganic, making it part of itself. And controlling this Chrome was the Herald. But the Herald is just a prophet. She serves that very same, the Nothing we were warned about years ago. In the Bytes quests, we heard the voice of the Nothing for the first time. It's a cold, calculating voice that doesn't scream about conquest, but speaks of an inevitable end. The Nothing granted the power of Chrome not just to capture the island, but to literally erase its structure. The tragedy of this phase of the war is that the last reality basically won. The Chrome consumed everything. It consumed the Seven, our main protectors. Even the Origin himself. All of them fell victim to the very force the Origin had been running from for millennia.
Get out of here! That's Uno!
This isn't how it ends. Suit integrity compromised. There has to be a way to fix this. Aligning to reality. 6, 5, 9,